in what way is money a mystery, right? Like the way God is a mystery, the way love is a mystery, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking about noticing the way that you use Bitcoin and money. Oftentimes I just played with the, in my imagination, like replace
Switching
that in your titles, right? Switching it out, and they worked, right?
You know, what I actually did, I've never, and I want to be like, before people obviously be like, oh, wait, you're identifying money with God. That's, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. I hope I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, I hope the Bitcoin journey has taken me the opposite direction, right? I've developed much more of an appreciation for what human interaction means, right? Like universalizing the principle of consent, for instance, how important that is.
Yeah.
But what I have done is the book Human Action by Mises.
Yeah.
If you go through his book, this guy didn't learn English until he was in his 50s, I think.
Uh-huh.
And he wrote his magnum opus, Human Action, and then translated it himself into English.
Yeah.
But if you go through that book and you replace the word market with God, you get very interesting sentences.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've heard Jonathan Pajot describe God. He says, the first thing I'm going to say about God, I'm roughly paraphrasing Pajot here, so forgive me if I'm not exactly saying this correctly.
Yeah.
He goes, the first thing is that no matter what you say about God, you're wrong. Right? Yeah. Because again, if God's the word for that which is beyond words, then no set of words is it's apophatic. Exactly. Yeah. New term I came to recently, but yes, it's apophatic. But then he goes on to say, but what God is, at least in the Christian tradition, is that it's a community of persons.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what that's
Christianity, when you really look at it, is so strange.
Yeah.
It's so I think beautifully strange and mysterious.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I found a lot of beauty and strangeness and mystery.
Yeah.
Not just in Christianity, but in a lot of the religions and wisdom traditions.
Yeah.
Seen through this lens that you guys are using. And
well, I'm personally surprised because, I mean, I just had so many. I mean, for me, Christianity was the reason why there weren't cartoons on Sunday. Right, because they'd have the church services on, right? It was obvious Saturday was always the cartoon day, so it was like Sunday they stole the cartoon, right? So that was my kind of this cartoon image of Christianity and the God in the sky and all that kind of stuff. But so really penetrating into some of those texts and diving into especially the Christian mystics, right, and things like this. In fact, Origen talked about, I believed he talked about the mind as a marketplace. He used that metaphor.
Who's Origen?
Origen's like one of the very, founding theologians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would love to read about that.
Yeah. I think it's Origen. Origen. He's also the first one said that slavery should be abolished.
Wow.
Before, and this is,
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
David Bentley Hart makes a lot out of Origen, right? Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
There's an argument made in Saifedean's later book, Principles of Economics. I don't think it's his original argument, but he packaged it very nicely.
Yeah.
That it was actually the Industrial Revolution that led to the sunsetting of chattel slavery. Because when you get industrial capital, first of all, the value of people's time goes way up. So the input human labor becomes a smaller proportion of the total output, basically. Further, it's much more difficult to enslave someone that's operating a piece of heavy machinery, right? First of all, they might sabotage, they might use that piece of machinery to rebel.
Yeah.
And this gets even further compounded when you get into the digital age and knowledge work, right? Like, how are you going to coerce someone to engage in knowledge work? Like, maybe it works a little bit at the edges, but it just seems like less feasible, basically.
Yeah.
And so I think the market, it really is a very profound thing, right? It's what gives rise to these technologies. These technologies often define how we organize ourselves socially.
Yeah.
Did the industrial age or industrial age technology, was it the sole contributing factor to the abolition of slavery? Probably not. Like, there's a lot of factors at play.
Yeah.
But I do think there's good arguments to be made that it did contribute to some extent.
Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting about the market and God, this is something Peterson has said before, right? Like God is the omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, right? So knows everything, is all powerful, is everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the only thing that being lacks? The limitless being. What does that being lack? Well, the being lacks limitation.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need the imago Dei, right? We are made in the image of God.
Yeah.
To complete God in a way.
Yeah.
God needs to experience finitude and limitation in us to complete himself, even though it's not exactly right? He's transcendent and perfect and all these things.
Yeah.
But the connection to the market there, which again, Peugeot described God as a communion of persons, as explicated in the Christian Trinity, is that the marketplace, I think, is the closest thing to an omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient entity, right? It is, as Vervaeke often says, it is in distributed cognition that we solve our biggest and most complex problems.
Yes.
In the first chapter of Matt Ridley's book, The Rational Optimist, he talks about how no one knows how to make a computer mouse.
Yeah.
No human knows how to make a computer mouse.
Yeah.
No company knows how to make a computer mouse.
Yeah.
Only the distributed logistics network of the global economy knows how to make the computer mouse.
Huh.
That all that know-how is not contained in any one place. It's only when people come together and collaborate with honest price signals that we can give rise to these very advanced technologies. Right? So it's very omniscient in that perspective. It's also omnipresent, obviously. Anywhere there are people trading, which is basically everywhere, there is a market. And then it's also very powerful, right? It is the means, again, Safety goes into this in his book, like even militaries depend on markets to create weapons. Right? The military itself is not a market phenomenon, right? It's just going and blowing. It's the opposite of a market in a way. It's not respecting private property and trading. It is non-consensually blowing people to smithereens. But to manufacture the means to blow people to smithereens, it depends on markets. It's not like the government sitting in some chamber, like manufacturing its own weapons. It actually needs trade and the movement of knowledge and goods to create these things. So I'm not saying that the market is God. I want to be careful there, but it does seem to be very close to it. And this is where I think I have a gripe with Vervaeke and many of these guys. Like they often equate like, oh, there's state power, which is bad, and there's market power, which is bad, and we need something else. I'm like, no, I don't think we have. The market has been hampered throughout all of human history, as far as I can tell. And we've gotten better, right? We've come a long way, right? We're in the digital age, et cetera. But we still have a centrally planned money as one half of every transaction, right? Money is one side of every transaction. Well, the money we use today is a product of central planning and Marxism. It is not a market phenomenon, right? We don't trade in gold. We don't trade in Bitcoin predominantly. Most of it's done in fiat currency. Fiat currency is not a market phenomenon. It's a market. It's not a market phenomenon. Basically, it's a central. It's a result of central planning. Basically. So I feel as though, especially guys deep in academia, which just probably outsource their opinion on economics to the Keynesian economist that's the next building over. They have a very dim view on what markets actually are and how important they actually are. I really think they are central to human flourishing. And I think even civilization itself might be usefully defined as the mission to make everyone rich via the social institution of private property. That's the point of all this trade is like, we're trying to increase aggregate human output to accumulate more capital, which is more of a buffer against the uncertainty of the future. Right. It's the walled garden in the wall in the walled garden, if you will. That's all accomplished through markets. And if anything, we are impeding markets from functioning fully or optimally through the central planning of money. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.